Good evening, and welcome along to my evening broadcast here in New Zealand. My name is Julz and Paekau, and I'm coming to you live from Auckland, New Zealand on the 9th of August 2018, and it is just going on to 5:30 p.m. in the evening. And I'd like to welcome you along to my broadcast number 104. Now, I've named my broadcast Kringler Automation. Now, the title might not sound too exciting, but the difference being, and there is a difference between a Kringler and a TBCian. Now, today I've sat in on quite a few live broadcasts, TBCian, with other TBC members that have been quite controversial as far as what they believe is a Kringler and a TBCian, or how do they, how are we going to grow the community to 1 billion people within the TBC community. Now, until this morning, having it pointed out to there's much knowledge around, and there's much the interaction that the different members have as far as they believe is helping to grow the community. And we all have our own unique styles. However, I'm going to go to a blog. Now, I've seen it read once, but I believe that the next half hour may take up most of the reading of that blog, but I believe it's an important blog so we can understand the difference between a Kringler and a TBCian. So let's go over and share my screen. So this to me has been a controversial post by TBC admin because many of the broadcasters just want to flick through it. But I believe that it's very important blog, and one that we definitely need to get to know, sort of, at least go to it at least once a day. So, yeah, the 1 to 2 year cash flow campaign is the bridge between the fiat-based economy to a fully developed TBC Kringle economy. Next is the massive community growth campaign. Then comes the merchant adoption campaign. Good evening, Sidonia. Thank you for coming along to my live broadcast. Oh, you're still sitting on the beach, or you're having some beautiful weather. We're right in the midst of winter here in New Zealand, Sidonia. So, lucky you. Okay, let's get into this blog. Fast forward 1 to 2 years from now, when we have succeeded in bringing in 1 billion paid members that are supported with at least 1 million broadcasters. And we are winning the info war against the elite and on our way to end poverty globally in 2020, having tens of millions of merchants accepting Kringles for payment in exchange for just about any product or service that exists, and in fact have a fully developed TBC Kringle economy. The value each of us will see in our respective TBC Kringle wallets will be fully unlocked and totally liquid to use as money in that global economy. That is our destination. We will succeed in changing the world to one where humanity embraces the idea of abundance for all. Once we conquer poverty, humanity will have the confidence to overcome any problem or challenge it may ever face ongoing. The universal state of misery we are witnessing today will be washed away for all of humanity. We as a species have so much more potential that we see we have today, and it is a potential worth fighting for to achieve. Now here's our broadcasters. The difference between a broadcasting TBCian and just a basic. Somebody who's come in, accepted the gift, and not really wanting to do anything more. But if you want to buckle down, as you know, we're still in the 500% bonus. So all these figures here matter to a broadcaster, because the 25,000 becomes 125,000 and so on. So we're in the 500%. So we get the meetings for 5 million, the purchases for 500 million, and the referrals for 5 billion. If you have 10, if you recruit 10, that's the referrals of 100 people, you will get 10 TBC. And to do your broadcast, that becomes 5 million. So all in all, being a broadcaster is one of the most rewarding parts of being a member of the TBC community. However, we have the basic cookie rewards for those who just want to accept the gift and come in and further do no more than own the free gift. Have you noticed the ratio between those that are broadcasters to the basic members is a 1,000 to 1? Just have a look at that again. And here you have the differences. So the difference is huge if you're a broadcaster. Yes, absolutely, Sidonia. To get that 500%, by the time November rolls around, we're going to be all kicking up our heels. Yes, put it that way. We can all go to the beach. Clearly, our plan is to create 1 million billionaires while setting up 1 billion millionaires. So here we are, 1 million billionaires and 1 billion millionaires. As we move all of the coins sitting in the admin wallet out to all of the members' wallets during the distribution phase of rolling out a full-blown TBC Kringle economy, where all of our coins become totally liquid and easily spendable without any further need to be good negotiators in order to spend them. Please always remember that this is a roll-out process. This is a roll-out process and not a single event. Our future economy will be comprised of 3 socio-economic classes. Okay, so we have the TBCians, the billionaires, holding at least one whole TBC coin. Then we have the Kringlers, the millionaires, holding at least 1 million of Kringle coins. So here's the difference. Because the TBC coin is valued at near on 3 million per coin at present, you have a whole TBC coin as opposed to somebody who's got 100 million Kringles. The former poor of humanity employed and paid in 100% Kringle by the TBCians and Kringlers, paying them all more than a living wage any government may offer its people. So that's a very important 1, 2, 3 steps there. You know, these are the sort of things you've got to take in and go over again just so you get the differences between the billionaires and the millionaires. Yes, absolutely. We'll all become billionaires in November. Awesome, Sidonia. So we'll carry on here. Abundance for all means that there is more than enough to generously pay all of the working class to have the means to live a dignified life where every need is met with the ability to pay for it from their working income, and that there are more jobs in the world than people to fill them all. No man, woman, or child should endure homelessness or hunger in a modern technological world such as ours, where we have the means to mass produce more than enough of everything needed and efficiently distribute it to every corner of the earth. It is time for humanity to leap forward in a response fashion and have truth be our guiding light. Ultimately, most of our paid members will be Kringlers, and very little is expected out of them as we set them up to be millionaires in the mature version of our TBC Kringle economy laid out in the vision above. The most important thing we should expect from the Kringlers is that they quickly learn how to just be quiet. Now, in this little sentence here, Kringlers are those that are just going to accept the gift, pay their $10 admin fee, purchase their $100 worth of coins, and just sit there and moan and not do anything, not take part in building the community. They're just going to sit there. So the advice from TBC admin is, if that's all you're going to do, then just be quiet. Because those of us who are building the community will be making as much noise as we possibly can. It's one thing to be a fool and quite another to prove it by opening the mouth. We have a number of fools among us. As I watch the chats inside the live broadcast and scan the posts and comments within various TBC Facebook groups daily, these fools refuse to do their own broadcasts and also excuse themselves from participating in a recruiting effort. If you want to share your screen, Sidonia, on the Google Hangouts, all you have to do is go to the top left-hand corner and you will see Share Screen. And once you click on that and you click on Share Screen, you just click your main screen down. Good evening, Stephen Kofke. Thank you for coming along to my broadcast. I'm just about halfway through this blog, which I feel is important that I read it. I'm just up to here, but they're quick to express negativity out in the open for the public to see. They seem to think their personal difficulties constitute an emergency for our leaders to handle. They are snapping at the very hands reaching out to lift them out of their dire circumstances. Their words bring down the moral of our community and stain social media by twisting what we are doing into an ugly representation. This behaviour is very foolish. I want our Kringlers to know that our broadcasters and builders are working very hard for their personal benefit as Kringlers, and those that have chosen to step up to be the TBCian billionaires don't deserve this kind of abuse. Stop throwing sand into the machine that is designed to make you wealthy. Just be quiet. If you don't have something nice and positive to say, let us keep working without being distracted by your ugly negativity. I'm not too sure about sharing screen on a phone, Sidonia. I haven't done it myself because I'm always on my computer. Please share this article and keep it handy in your toolbox with any you may find that are openly being negative within our community, and ask them to find the patience to let the time pass forward without interfering with our positive progress. Opinions of spectators are worthless to the players on the field. We will arrive at our destination much faster if the Kringlers learn to be quiet. The fast start for broadcasters is 23 steps. Yet we don't expect the Kringlers to do the work that is required to enjoy cash flow. Their reward comes down the road when the value of our coins becomes completely unlocked, and they will be the millionaires with 100% spendable money, using our coins in a fully developed TBC Kringle economy. The gift is 25,000 cookies, and the basic reward for a $100 purchase is 100,000 cookies. That's 0.00125 TBC coins. At the max value, that will be worth about $3,037,500 once we reach 1 billion members. Kringlers only have the following steps to complete. Now, I wanted to compare this. This is what a Kringler, the difference between a Kringler and a TBCian. So here I have a TBCian's style. So a Kringler will just come in and receive the gift. Good evening, Andrea Medlock. Thank you for coming along to my broadcast. Now, I'm just comparing the difference between a Kringler and a TBCian. So a Kringler will come in and receive the gift. They'll complete the Kringles Cash profile. They will more than likely pass the send button test. Couldn't ask for anything simpler to do. Pay the $10 admin fee. Set up the new wallet so they can see that they've got their free gifts sitting in their wallet. Purchase $100 of Kringles. Complete the transaction verification on the buyer side in the KCBO. Have the seller approve your transaction on the seller side in KCBO. And hopefully a Kringler will study the blog as a daily routine. So as you can see, very little is expected out of a Kringler in order to turn them into a millionaire over the next year or two. Please be quiet, Kringlers. So we'll run through that again. This is what a Kringler is somebody that'll come in, do what is required, the basics. So the basics being here, this is a basic Kringler. This is for the Kringler. So they'll come in, do the basics, which is these steps here. And that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 steps. That's a Kringler who will come in, do these 8 steps, and then sit there and moan about when the fiat's coming. So this is a Kringler. Now, this is a TBCian. A TBCian is somebody who's ready to step up and grow the community. That is the difference between a Kringler and a TBCian. So I'd just like to reiterate that a Kringler will be somebody who'll come in, receive the gifts, and then moan. But a TBCian is a member that has come in to grow the community and follow this system. And this system has 23 steps. 23 steps, and you follow these steps, then you are a TBCian. You are ready to help grow our community so you can make all the noise you like, as opposed to a Kringler who is just going to come in, do the basics, and expect more than what they're giving to the community. Now, also controversial today, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and come back. So I wanted to reiterate the difference between a Kringler and a TBCian. So that, to me, a Kringler is somebody who will come and receive the gift, do what is required, the basic things, won't do broadcasts, won't help grow the community, but will sit there and wait for their gift to grow, maybe purchase $100 worth of coins, but pretty much sit back and do nothing. So that's a Kringler. A TBCian, on the other hand, is someone who will follow the fast start cash system. Now, I believe that fast start cash system was put in place for all TBCians to follow. The system works if you implement the steps. Now there's 23 steps. So a Kringler has 8 steps, a TBCian has 23 steps. Now these 23 steps may take some time, but if you go through it enough times, repetitious, you get to know what the next step is going to be. So I believe that all TBCians who are ready to grow our community collectively need to be on the same page. I'm not sure if that's how you feel, but if we're all singing the same song and new members come in and hear maybe Stephen, Cuffy, maybe Sidonia, maybe you and Deria, all on the same page, going through somewhere in that cash fast start, the 23 steps, then people who hear the same thing will say, oh, I heard that broadcaster said that. because everybody's got their own unique way. But I believe that the fast start cash flow system is the main system to follow if we're to build our community. I hardly believe that if we're all giving out a different message, if we're all trying to grow our community from a different style, from other than that the TBC admin have given us the platform, have given us the system, have given us instructions, and clearly update us as to which way to promote our community, to grow the numbers that we so richly need. 2020 is not that far away. And if we're all on the same page, all saying the same thing, promoting the same way, with a system that's been put in place for us, and we add it to our toolbox, we add it to our daily, till it becomes a broken record, that you don't even have to look at the blog. You know what the next step is. 1 to 23 steps for a TBC, or 8 steps for a Kringler. Yes, we've got many, many a Kringler who have just come for the gift, and then we'll sit on the sideline and wait. Well, not even necessarily wait, complain, but really not helping to grow the community all. And so the TBC admin want them just to be quiet. Let those who are doing the hard yards, doing the broadcast. The broadcasts are very important to all of us who do it, not only in the sense of being rewarded handsomely for it, and yes, we are being rewarded handsomely for doing our broadcast. So my hat goes off to the TBC admin for always building the members up as much as they can. And henceforth we tell the Kringlers to shush up, sit on the side and let those TBCians, which are a great amount of people who are ready to step up another notch and build our TBC community. So if you're a Kringler, don't stand in the way of progress, because there are many TBCians who have put their best foot forward, who have taken hold of upskilling themselves, investing in themselves so they become better at it. Now, one thing I must really, really reiterate is the investment I have put in myself, and the collective amount of people that are now investing in themselves to help themselves grow the community as far as the cash flow training system goes. Now, I know we're in there, cash flow members, Andrea, Sidonia, and Stephen, and I value my time in the cash flow training system because the content and the value of the communication between Randy and those of us that are in the cash flow training is invaluable. And I can't, I have forwarded quite a few messages to my team, whom I believe will get great value out of coming to the cash flow training sessions with Randy, because I thought I knew everything, and but I didn't. But there's room to learn, and if I can go off and cash flow train someone else, well, then Randy's done his job. And now, my main reason for my broadcast today was to make sure everybody knows the difference between a Kringler and a TBCian. And I guess 8 steps over here for the Kringler as opposed to 23 steps over here. Well, that's all. That's the difference. You know, the gap is as wide as the Harbour Bridge. So the gap between a Kringler and a TBCian is 14 steps. But if you're bound and determined to help grow our community, get in sync with the fast start cash flow system. Implement it in your daily routine of going through those steps, of knowing each step one by one without even referring back to the blog. Know it in your head that, you can go through the steps with maybe a new recruit or somebody who's already in there and needs your help, your guidance. So that's my broadcast for today. So I'd like to thank you, Sidonia, Stephen, and Andrea, for coming along to my broadcast today. And I look forward to catching up with you all in your live broadcast. And please, if you're an orphan out there within the TBC community, please feel free to reach out to me. My details are below this video. I'd be more than happy to help you out. And I'd like to thank you, my fellow broadcasters, for coming along to my broadcast this evening. It's now 5:30. It's 6 p.m. in the evening here in Auckland, New Zealand, on the 9th of August 2018, and I'd like to bid you a good evening from here in Auckland. Thank you, and bye for now.